Okay, so we're live. Welcome to the Node.js Technical Steering Committee meeting for September 30th, 2021. As Rich mentions, we don't necessarily see everybody who's here because the way Zoom works in cameras, but we have, Rich, myself, Danielle, Robert, and Mary at this point, and others may join at some point. Before we get started with the agenda that was in issue number 1087, does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share? Okay, if not, we can move on to the CPC and board meeting updates. On the CPC front, the meeting was canceled this week, so there's no update on that front.
I wouldn't mind mentioning that that there was a simplified. Actually, it doesn't affect nodes, so never mind. Yeah, sorry.
No problem. I know what you're thinking of. The other thing on the board front, I don't have any updates. No board updates this week. And I'm not really aware of anything that we're waiting on as the node project. So we will move on to the issues. In terms of the first issue, so Meta, move one or more collaborators to Emeritus. I know, Rich, you've been driving that.
Resolved. It's done.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Resolved. Should be already closed, right?
Merged, yes.
Perfect, okay. The next one is module unflag import assertions. This is 39921. If anybody's been directly involved, please jump in.
I don't think we have the right people for this, and we talked about it quite a bit last week.
Right, is that the... Okay, so anyway, we can defer that till next time since we don't have the right people here to discuss. Don't. Rename the default branch from master to main. Again, just slow progress. I think it was just last week, although it might have been before then. We switched over the node.js.org repo, which took a little bit of coordination between build and so forth. And I think there's one or two others that we've switched over. So we're nearing the point where we're going to have to think more about core, but not quite there yet. The next one is migration of core modules to primordials. I, again, don't think we have necessarily the right people.
Robert might have something he wants to say.
I haven't followed up so much on this. I think the last time I heard it was going to be some proposals on what we would vote on.
Yeah, that's what I remember from last week. So, yep. But I wasn't expecting them to be done this week though, so it's not a surprise if it's no update.
Going to be proposals. Those have not yet been. No update. Okay, so that's good. Depths, update OpenSSL to Quick TLS OpenSSL 3.0.0. That one I added to the agenda. The OpenSSL 3 has gone, non-beta, and this is a proposal that we actually pull it into 17. We need to propose. We need to pull it into 18 because based on the current schedule, 18 would go out of service before the end of life of 1.0.2, or sorry, 1. Whatever the version is that we're using of OpenSSL. I'm getting it wrong, but that version will go end of life before 18 would go end of life. So I don't think we can use it in 18. We do have a choice for 17. I've chimed in and a few other people have chimed in saying like, it's probably good to vet it in 17. So we got some extra time to see if there's anything that comes out. And I put it on the agenda here to get people's opinions and see if there's any concerns with that.
Beth is doing the 17.00 release, right?
Yes.
Has she weighed in on it?
She's been out this week.
I mean, my feeling is like if she's comfortable with it, then I am. You know,
Okay.
I mean, especially like 17, it's the type of thing where if it's really, really, really a problem, we can
Right.
pull it out again. Where yeah, but yeah, I don't have any problem with it.
Let me just see.
Unless Beth does, then I'm on team
Yeah.
Beth.
I'm gonna just mention her any concerns with this one. Yeah. So we'll just get her to chime in there. I think we've already mentioned it to her, and I haven't heard any, but it's good to hear from her directly. So, okay, that takes us then to be or not to be in core, which I think Danielle, you've done some organization. No. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Danielle, that was the one you'd organized.
Yeah, that was me. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was me. We started the discussion, which it looks like there's been some activity on. I guess I don't really know. Yeah, I think the discussion is still going on. That's what I'm seeing. I haven't really talked to anyone about this in a while. So is there anything like any kind of like time limit we should put on this, or kind of like action items that we have from this already? Because I think after the last meeting, the action item was to create a conversation, which we've done. And now I guess I'm not sure how long this should go on to give people the right amount of time to kind of chime in. It looks like the only people that have chimed in are TSC members. Is this something we want to kind of push collaborators or other people in the community to also comment on?
Yeah, the discussion now has stalled a little bit. I think the best way and to get people to engage on this is to, actually open a PR to get one of these kind of modules into core and see what the response is. I think we already had one of those with the MIME type.
Yeah, we had I feel like I've seen a couple of those. We've seen that with Yarn. We've seen that with what's the other one? I think there's a discussion about ESLint. So, I mean, do we think that that's going to be better than those discussions? Or
What did you? But those are more.
Those are more tools, whereas I think what Robert's talking about is like a new module, and MIME.
Okay,
MIME is the bill for that. Yeah, I kind of wish Bradley was here to talk about MIME, or Bradley may not want to be here to talk about MIME.
Well, what I thought you were going to say was open a PR to document what the criteria would be.
Yeah.
Because any one module will just maybe hit one or two things, right?
Mm. Yeah. I just feel we haven't had enough engagement on this issue to, be able to write something that people would actually take seriously or agree with.
I sometimes wonder, or I guess some of my experience seems to say a PR that actually says something that's going to land in core gets more attention than a discussion.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was trying to get at.
Right. So it's kind of like we've tried to get the discussion in this discussion. There's some issues, there's some ideas, and I do wonder if the next step is like an actual PR, which then might bring in more of the collaborators, and that tends to drive more discussion sometimes.
So who would open that PR, Michael?
Any one of us who's been involved in the discussion, I think. Like somebody would need to volunteer to look at what's been written in that issue and say, here's what we've got as a starting point.
I mean, the thing is that there really isn't a whole lot of there are significant areas where there does not seem to be consensus. Is that right, Robert and Danielle?
Well, I'm a little unsure, because there's so few people have engaged. So I'm not really sure what there are consensus and non-consensus. Like me personally, I'm in the view that it's nicer to have things outside of core. So I'm a little bit on the opposite end of this. Like, I don't think we should include so many things in core. And then somebody needs to argue from the other side in order to make something productive out of it. I think Bradley would be good to have a discussion there. Because it's like a little bit like Trot, Rich, you and me had a little discussion there. That was good.
I don't even remember what I said, but I'm sure it was great.
Right.
You wrote a lot, so I'm not surprised you don't remember it.
You sure you're not mistaken?
We kind of.
I don't see it in there, but anyway.
It's in discussion.
I see Bradley wrote a lot.
All right.
I think on your last comment, yeah, that's maybe what you just pasted.
Oh, in the discussion. Okay, I'm looking in the I'm looking in the age. Well, oh, those are the same. Huh. Yeah, that's where I'm looking, but I don't see me in there, do I? No, I'm wondering if I'm. Oh, no, there I am. Yeah.
Unless that's your evil twin, I'm.
Oh, so I was looking at the TSC issue to be or not to be in core, but you're looking at the node issue to be or not to be in core.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Because I had all that stuff with nodes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, in the interest of, I mean, if nobody else will do it, please don't let me take this off of someone else's plate who wants it. But in the interest of just moving things forward, I can draft something, and like it'll probably not get consensus, but at least be something that people can react to. That should at least get more comments from the TSC, at least, if not others.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go write it down on my to-do list right now. Pen and paper, old-fashioned. Here we go. Yeah, okay. I'll take that for next week.
Sounds good. We'll pull together draft based on discussion so far. Sounds good. Okay, that takes us to the end of the issues that were tagged for the agenda. We can quickly flip over to the strategic initiatives, but I think I know what the answer is going to be there. So let me just do that first, though, to remind me of the list so I don't forget. Well, actually, that doesn't. There's one I added to the list, so I've forgotten that. Let me go back to that one. I don't know how I skipped that. Well, I'm sure. Okay, maybe I just put it in the.
Yeah.
I know. I put it on the agenda for next time. Did I?
You're talking about the OpenSSL one that we talked about?
No. I think I tagged it for, and it'll show up next week. So never mind. Okay. Looking at the strategic initiatives. So I guess the only person we have leading a strategic initiative is right now is Mary, who's here. Any update on future build chain that you want to share?
No, I haven't been able to organize them.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm just gonna. Okay, so that takes us to the end of our regular agenda. Thanks everybody for their time and everybody who's been watching on the YouTube stream. If everybody can